improvisation. For the majority of the piece, I travelled the minor pentatonic and the blues scale. I touched on chord tones in order to harmonise the changes. Hopefully you could feel the 1 chord that was A7 change to the 4 chord D7 and then back to A7 and so on. In this lesson, that's what we'll discuss. We'll touch on the dominant 7th arpeggios over 2 octaves. That's the 1, 3, 5 and flat 7. How I like to practice those arpeggios in a way that makes them more understandable and relatable. And finally, how we can add the 2nd and 4th intervals to spice up our solos. Sound good? Let's get started. So in a major blues, we only have 3 chords to worry about. We have the 1 chord, in this key that'll be A7, the 4 chord, that'll be D7, and the 5 chord, that'll be E7. So that was a dominant 7th, an A dominant 7th arpeggio. We started on the 1, we went to the 3, then the 5, and then the flat 7. And we did that over 2 octaves. So 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. And then to finish it, I like to go back to the flat 7 and back up to the 1. On to the D7 arpeggio. So again, we're just playing the 1, the 3, 5, flat 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. For the E7, you can do exactly the same thing, the same shape. As the 5 chord sits right next to the 4 chord. Another arpeggio you can use for the E7 would be the C-shaped. It's just the 1, the 3, the 5, the flat 7, the 1, the 3, the 5, the flat 7, the 1. And the flat 7, back up to the 1. Arpeggios are great, definitely worth adding to your practice. But let's try those chord tones across something a bit more familiar, like an E shape and an A shape. Something we all recognise. Now that's an E7th shape if we think of caged. And we're playing it as an A7. And I'm just playing them as they sit, 1 note per string, right through the chord. And I'm numbering them. 1, 5, flat 7, 3, 5. I'm sure we can memorise 1, 5, 7, 3, 5. 1, 5, 7, 3, 5. 1, 5, 7, 3, 5. Now I'm saying 7, that is a flat 7. Now for the A-shaped D, this one, luckily the pattern is exactly the same. 1, 5, 7, 3, 5. 1, 5, 7, 3, 5. Now for the E, it's going to be exactly the same if we just shift it all up and play 1, 5, 7, 3, 5. Now a good practice would be to play those 3 chords as a 12-bar blues. Play them as 8th notes, 1, 5, 7, 3, 5, and then in the reverse, straight back up to the top, and it'll sound like this. Now let's look for 2. So we have... Now a 2, if you think of an A major chord, if you've ever done this and opened up that B string, that gives you a sus2. That's because you're replacing this 3 with a 2. Now that's the same up here for a D. We have our 3 here, and we have our 2 here. Now if we want to find the 4, it's the same idea. If you recognise that, A, sus4. Again, we're just replacing the 3 with the 4. The same goes up here. For the E7, it's exactly the same. We just find our 3, 1, 5, 7, 3. And then 2 frets down, we have our second interval. And 1 fret up, we have our fourth interval. Now for A7, again, first we find our 3, 1, 5, flat 7, 3, and again the 2 is 2 frets down, and the 4 is 1 fret up. Let's put all that into practice. I'm going to play over an implied A7 chord using the minor pentatonic scale, whilst highlighting those chord tones, that's 1, 5, 7, 3, 5, and touching on that second and fourth interval. Here we go. Cool, so what did I do there? I played the root, then slid up to the third and the fifth, then back and forth from the first to the flat 7th, before hitting the minor third and the fifth, and then jumping onto that second interval, and hanging there for a wee bit of tension before resolving on my 1. And that's just hitting the flat 7th, sliding down from the 5th, onto the 4th, sliding up from the minor third, to the 3rd, and then hitting the root. Hopefully you found this helpful. If so, I'd really appreciate a follow or a like. Any questions? Leave them in the comments. Cheers.